Hello, lovely people. I'm Sinead, and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a variety of crafts, but before I get started, I kind of wanted to share something that makes me feel a little bit happier about the situation with our government right now. U.S. News and several other entities have published lately that the Cheeto-covered taco did not win. He cheated. So that makes me feel better because it means that the majority didn't actually want him. His followers are a minority. And that really, really is a relief. I was kind of feeling a little bit bad about society as a whole. And very, very glad that he didn't actually win. And what the authorities are going to do with that is probably nothing, but it does make me feel better, and I hope it does you too. So I just wanted to share that yeah, it's heartening to know that that kind of hatred is a minority. Anyway, let's turn around this camera and get on with it, shall we? It feels like all I have been doing is pottery, but the reality is that is not the case. It's just what I did most recently. I just did a couple of pride mugs, and this weekend at our market festivals, it was pride parades in both locations on the day of the festival, or no, on the day of the market. They were doing coinciding pride festivals, and you'd think that that would be, you know, really beneficial, but we actually had a serious drop in sales, so not beneficial. Whoops. So anyway, this week, as I thought I was going to get this done, I thought I was going to get to it and get it done, and well, it didn't happen. So we're going to do the next step here. I just realized I don't have a center mark, so I want to get that done. My paper clay, not going to mark much with that. My paper clay came out better this time, actually, and sanded down better. And so it was just kind of like all around a better deal. Why is it I feel like I have to hold my breath to mark? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we got the back sanded here. It's ready to go. And the front didn't lose any of its bits because it was fully dry. So that's all good. And I don't think I'm going to put the glue on as much as I did last time. Just hit center. There we go. What was I saying? Anyway, yeah, I did a couple of pride mugs, and oddly enough, none of the pride mugs sold. People admired them. They were glad that they were there, but they were saving their money for the other pride merch or other events. So anyway, they did not spend a lot of time at our booth, but hey, a great, one of our customers liked what she got in the way of a carved mug, so much so it's not one that I plan on doing more of in exactly the same way. So it was one of those one-time things, and then, you know, I was going to find a different way to do it. Anyway, she liked it so much, she came back and said, you know, I dropped it, I broke it, and could you make me another? And so she got her replacement mug this weekend, which is, you know, that's something. I appreciate that kind of loyalty, somebody who likes it enough that when they, you know, they sometimes just buy another one because they just want another one. Sometimes they buy another one because the cat knocked it off the counter. I don't know if that's what happened, but she does have cats. So there was that, it's not like it was a completely dry weekend, but it was not as good as we really were hoping this summer would be. And I know it's just the beginning. We're still in the beginning stages of the summer months, but I can't help but think that the political climate and unrest that is going on isn't, having an effect. But I got to Joey asked me to do a flower pot with a face on it. In fact, she threw 2 of them with kind of a Waldorf shape to them, like the Waldorf dolls, maybe. I don't know if you're not familiar with it. It's a cloth doll that has an under, well, why don't we just use our fairy here? It has a face shaped like that so that it comes in at the eye and kind of makes some big cheeks, if you will. Anyway, she threw a couple of flower pots with that shape and asked me to put faces on them, and a couple of other flower pots. And I had planned to do a tree on one of them, but I don't know, I got distracted and didn't do it. I did a squirrel instead with some acorns, and I did, let's see what else. And I was doing these in kind of a relief design, so the squirrel looked like he was leaning in, to see what you had. His face and arms were kind of out from the pot, and his legs were not. Anyway, if Joey remembers to take a picture of it, because, hey, I didn't, I'll post that. Anyway, that's ready for paint as soon as the glue is dry, so that's cool. And I think this side is going to be the side away from the wall if this ends up against a wall, which I'm pretty sure it's going to. This side's going to be the side away from the wall. Oops. I think we might have an issue over here with the way that the leg's seated. It's not actually flat. So I'm going to go for... if we're going to make this the front, then we're going to go for having it glued on at this edge, priority over... You see how there's a gap? Oops. I guess you can't. There, now. There's a gap there. And so when I press it, well, that's got better adhesion that way, though. I guess it's not that bad. We'll leave it. Make sure it's over for... I didn't mess that up. Okay, set this aside and talk about the paint here. It has cured fully, and I did the test on the bottom of this foot where it was dry. I talked about, just giving the a second coat a test. And I don't know if you can see there's a little bit of a line where I put the paint kind of up on the edge and not just on the bottom of the foot. So there's a line here that indicates that it does actually come out lighter. And just looking at this, it comes out a lighter color once you get that second coat on there. So I will go ahead and do a second coat on her arms and legs, but I was going to say maybe we just move forward on her head, but I'm still debating about giving this a second coat to see if we can get this to just blend better. Because I think some of it is color differences, just like on the legs. So maybe, yeah, I just talked myself into it. We're going to do that. Next, or not next week, but Friday, we're going to work on a chair similar to this, but it'll have 4 legs because I don't trust this style of foot leg on a chair to not dump my doll. So I want something with a high back and arms, and we'll just go ahead and do 4 legs. And I'm kind of thinking the back needs to have, if I have the wood, I want it to be a wooden back. The bottom, the seat can be cardboard, and then we'll do some kind of maybe velvet. I'll go see what I've got. Covered cardboard to glue in place on the back and seat. And it depends on what the arms get made out of as to whether or not we'll do any kind of cushion on them. But that's what's happening on Friday. And this fairy, I wanted to give it earrings and plugs, much like my own, for gauged ears. And this was not my plan when I originally made the fairy. If it had been, I would have given a little bit of a bump to the bottom of the ear. But I didn't, and this is something I'm just adding later. Put your arms down, dude. And it's just a matter of gluing on. These two are nail gems, and these are just jump rings, like, you know, the jewelry making jump rings that are a single round of steel, I guess. And I don't know if these will stain over time on the felt. It's something you have to worry about with plastic. And if you were wanting to add earrings to a plastic doll, you could do the same thing with gluing gems, because... So I'm going for bigger ones because I'm wanting these to look like gauged plugs. But you can get the nail gems really tiny, and they work to glue in place on any doll. Like this would even work on a 12th scale doll, like this one, if I just wanted, or smaller than this, you know, where their face is smaller in comparison to their body. If I wanted to give them little gemstone earrings. And the jump rings, you could glue those on, but I am going to open these up and use a needle and put them through. In fact, I think I better start with that because I don't want to accidentally knock the glued pieces out and wrong, you know, mess them up. So hopefully I don't mess up this side. They were glued earlier, just to make sure that I had what I wanted going on. Let's see. Placement, I mean, that is purely subjective, you know. I am using a needle that is bigger than the jump ring, so that it makes a hole that I can aim for. I tried using a needle that was the same size, thickness as the jump ring, and I couldn't get it through the hole. And felt does have a tendency to close up on you, just a little bit. And I suppose in the case here, I may have gone too far into the ear. I hope not. Hope that's just a matter of not being coordinated. There we go. And it's always easier to close your jump ring with 2 pairs of pliers. If you can get a hold of it, which I'm having a hard time doing. Well, I guess it's a real good thing that we decided to do the jump rings before the other glued on bits. And you just get it back where it was, closed. Leave the opening in the back. Now let's see if we can do this 2 more times without messing anything up. I thought maybe I had questions for you. But you guys aren't doing a real good job of answering my questions. As always, what are you working on? And And how are you faring in this current climate? Are you doing okay? You know, check in with me. Let me know whether or not you're okay. Are you struggling with health issues? Oh, it is haying season. And yeah, I'm suffering with that. I'm actually surprised I've made it this far in the video without sneezing. But, you know, severe or not severe health issues. Are you okay? And, you know, take care of your emotional and other health well-being. I hope that you are not being adversely affected by cuts to the budget, which I realize some of those haven't actually been put into place, but I mean, I'm hearing things happening in states that, you know, they shouldn't be affected yet, but they are. And let's see if we can pick this up with this. So yeah, I'm hoping you guys are all okay out there, and that it's not all, you know, gloom and doom. I'm feeling more hopeful. Even if I don't know what the plan is, I know that somebody's got a plan. And quiet protesting, because they're trying to get us riled up. Quiet protesting is not what they want, so that's what you need to be doing. Quiet protesting. We've been participating in Project Mailstorm, where we mail in letters to the White House, to the Supreme Court. If you have Republican representatives or Democrats who aren't on board, which I think they all are on board with trying to stop the crazy, that you send them a letter. Heck, if you have a Democratic representative and they're doing their job, you send them a thank you note. But mostly we're trying to kind of jam up their mail system. Anyway, mail those letters. So I'm using Crafter's Pick, the ultimate and only non-toxic water-based super glue. I'm sure there are other glues out there that would work as well. Anything that will adhere to cloth and plastic. It's a multi-purpose glue is kind of what you're looking for. And then I've got the glue, and I just kind of slide the toothpick out, and we have the earring in place. And you don't want it to set, if you know, to emulate a plug, you don't want it going lower. I got a bit of fuzz sticking out here. I'll bet you that's from in the wool itself, in the felt. Anyway, you want to have a little bit of ear below to let it show that it's to represent a plug more accurately, because they don't go, there's always a little bit of ear below. Okay, let's see if we can get this one with the same bit of glue. And I have the pattern for this this fairy, this one pattern, and it includes 2 different methods for being able to have a posable head. I really like the posable head, but the original pattern did not have a posable head. Here, I'm going to throw that out before it gets stuck to something. The original one did not have a posable head, but I am so thrilled with this posable head. This one is sewn with a little loop of thread from the neck stub up through the top of the head, and the hair covers it up. But you could also do it where you leave this seam open, and you could sew it through the pocket that's in the head, and then finish stuffing the head. There are lots of different ways to get that head on, and then, you know, anyway. I hope you have enjoyed me chattering on, and that you're doing okay, and that this gives you ideas, you know, on like customizing your dolls, or maybe making your own little fairies or brownies or yeah, I think I had you know, whatever little fake creature, and customizing it your way. Have a delightful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you on Friday, and we'll build ourselves a chair. Bye bye.